AI is hacking our brains. The more we hear something, the more we believe it to be true, even if it's false. The fastest way not only to kill your thinking, but also your career. AI-generated nonsense triggers the same instinct and our brain reacts the same way. The point is not to scare you that AI is bad and it's a system we are trapped in. MIS. A portion of this video is sponsored by my own newsletter, The Mind Catalyst, which you can subscribe right now in the link below. AI is hacking our brains, and we might as well be losing our abilities to think critically. I would love to say that I'm pretty smart, but the fact that once I believed a fake fact from an AI-generated video, let's just say we all have our moments. But why do I keep believing everything that I see or hear? I mean, I know I'm naive and innocent, but still, if AI keeps outsmarting me like this, I might have to reinstall my critical thinking abilities. Obviously, finding answer to every problem begins with Google. Spending hours reading blogs, articles, reports, books, and after straining my eyes, I guess I found something. The problem is not just AI, it's a system we are trapped in. A system that rewards misinformation, shapes what we believe, and blindly trusts whatever comes in front of our eyes. A system that hacks our brain's default settings and turns off critical thinking. And this system, let's call it MIS. Misinformation, influence, and submission. This is why we all fall for fake news. This is why AI-powered algorithms make us think that we are making choices when we are actually not. And this is why we don't even question things that we should be questioning. Until we fix this, we'll have trouble thinking critically. Number 1. Misinformation. This is the virus that spreads faster than facts. Harvard researchers found that using AI tools like ChatGPT for more than 60 minutes a day increases the risk of early onset Alzheimer's. I knew digital tools are destroying our memories, but this is huge. As we are dealing with more and more AI models, at this speed we are losing our memory, it's going to be a huge issue. But it should not be, because I just made that up. And you believed it, didn't you? See? And that's exactly the problem. We just believe what we see here without a second thought. We might like to blame social media for all this, but spam, scam, fake news, misinformation has been around for a long time. AI and social media just gave them a platform so that they spread even more faster. But the worst part is, we always fall for it. Let's go back 2000 years ago, somewhere in Rome around 44 BC, where the people did not even need Twitter for all the drama. After Julius Caesar was assassinated, his heir Octavian wanted power, but he had a strong opponent, Mark Antony. Octavian created a smear campaign to tarnish his image by distributing pamphlets, inscriptions on coins, misleading people about his character, calling him a womanizer and somebody who was controlled by Cleopatra. It was a political fake campaign, but it worked, and Octavian got the throne. Let's move around 1450s, where Gutenberg printing press came in, and suddenly misinformation got a platform where it was able to spread more easily because of the print media. By 19th century, newspaper became that platform that would be spreading information or misinformation. In fact, there's a popular false story about creatures like unicorn, flying bat, and other fancy animals living on the moon, which was also popular by great moon hawks, and was published in a series of articles, and people started believing that. Fast forward to the digital and social media age, and now fake news is able to spread faster than ever. AI can generate articles, videos in seconds. And again, we would like to blame it all on algorithms, social media, fake news, but we are part of the problem. Why do we believe all this? When I did my research, I found there are 3 cognitive biases that makes people like you and me believe all this false information. Number 1 is the truth bias, where our brain trusts first and questions later. Our brains are built to accept information first without evaluating everything. But this thing worked when we used to live in caves and somebody shouted there's a lion and everyone would just run without fact checking. But now the AI generated nonsense triggers the same instinct and our brain reacts the same way. The moment we read a fake fact or even a fake video, our subconscious mind processes it as if it's a true information, even if we later hear a correction. The next impact, the illusory truth effect bias. Repetition feels reality. The more we hear something, the more we believe it to be true, even if it's false. Because our brains, it prefers familiarity over accuracy. If you keep seeing the same information again and again, it's easier to process. And eventually your subconscious mind will register it as a true factual information. AI doesn't just create misinformation, it amplifies it at scale. If a false claim is repeated continuously across all platforms and you are consuming that information, eventually your brain will assume that it's a common knowledge and it's true, even if it's not, because we don't make the effort to question the resource, check the facts if it's true or not. The one is confirmation bias. We only accept what we believe. Our brains like cognitive ease, and they look for truth that supports our existing beliefs and biases. That's why we are inclined towards information that confirms our existing beliefs. Anything that challenges that view is cognitively difficult to process, so we either ignore it or twist it to fit our own narrative. Accepting a different perspective is a difficult task for our brain. So what it does is resonates with the content that already provides the information which you know or you agree to. And algorithms, they track what we watch, what we hear, how much time we are spending on a specific post or video, and based on those habits they will filter and give you exactly what you like and you would love to watch. And that's how you are also trapped in an echo chamber of the similar content, and there's no way that your thought processes or assumptions can be questioned, challenged, or changed because you are just watching the same thing again and again. Do you see the vicious cycle of all these biases that traps us into the system? AI is not just spreading misinformation, but it's also weakening our ability to think critically. A study published on MIT stated that fake news or information was 70% more likely to be retweeted than the truth. People tend to engage more with emotional or polarized content, and AI tend to amplify that content and distribute it more widely due to the amount of engagement it receives. The real danger is not that AI is creating a platform which might spread misinformation more, because that has been happening since before AI era as well. But the problem is that we are thinking less and accepting more at face value. And if we don't fix that, it doesn't matter how much fake information is out there, because we won't be able to tell the difference. Which brings me to the next part of MIS, that is I, which is influence. This is like the invisible hand that shapes what we think. A few weeks ago, I casually watched a video about how to correct bad posture, and slowly I realized my entire feed, like my whole social media ecosystem, was turning into similar recommendations, like how a standing desk is beneficial for your physical health, posture. A lot of videos of influencers talking about their standing desks and ergonomic chairs, ads of the same product popping up on everywhere on my feed. And one day I woke up thinking I need a standing desk because my brain came up with that innovative idea. But the reality was I was being conditioned by the algorithms based on my preferences and habits. And that's how algorithms trap you into thinking things that they want you to think and making you feel that you are the one making decisions. Algorithms are the modern salesmen these days. You have a thought and they'll surround you everywhere on every platform. Everything we see online is created for engagements and profits. The system working behind the scenes knows exactly what will hook you for hours. Content that reinforces into believing what you already believe. Stuff that triggers extreme emotions inside you, like anger, outrage, or insecurities. And before we realize, we are already trapped in the AI personalization loop where we forget to think about ourselves. We think that we are outsourcing decisions to make our lives easier, to reduce mental and decision fatigue. But the more you start outsourcing, the less you are thinking for yourself. Influence is not just about what we read, but it shapes the entire world around us. Like Netflix recommending you the shows you would like to watch because other people watched it. Amazon recommending you to complete your look or buy a certain product because other people are also buying that combination. AI recommending you a course because it's trending in the industry. So you enroll even if it's not relevant to your career. And this small nudges that takes away our decision making and makes us forget how to think for ourselves is the fastest way to kill independent thinking. Which leads me to the third point, that is S, submission, where we give an entire control to the machine and stop thinking for ourselves completely. It's like we are never going to think twice about anything, and we'll just believe whatever the AI overlords tell us to do. Now, psychology also has a name for this particular bias, that is called automation bias, where we actually trust the machine or algorithms so much that we will even ignore our own instincts. Like, just imagine like how many times you would have ignored your own instincts over GPS directions, or you would have ignored your own spelling because autocorrect's suggestion. It's true, it's happening already. Now, while on surface, all these things will seem very irrelevant and small decisions in our everyday life, but the more we depend on it, the more it changes our behavior and we are trapped in a loop. Let me share with you an example I recently read. I was surprised to read this case about a lawyer somewhere in Australia who used GPT for legal research and submitted that in court. And 2 weeks later, it was found that 17 documents from the ones which he submitted in court were fake. AI just invented those legal cases and the lawyer didn't even question it. And that's exactly what an automation bias is, when you you believe that the output generated by a machine is perfect, 100% accurate, and you override your own gut instincts, thought process, skills, and just believe whatever is fed by the machine. Now imagine a hospital lets AI diagnose patient without any supervision and it makes a fatal mistake, or a company uses an AI for a recruitment tool and it rejects a suitable candidate for the role. Who is to be blamed then? The point is not to scare you that AI is bad, because it's the future. We have to learn to work with AI, get comfortable with it. But the point is to not outsource our entire brains to AI, and reach a point where we have stopped thinking for ourselves and we are giving the control to a machine, because then it's not the fault of AI but ours that we chose the easy path rather than the difficult one. And that's why critical thinking is important. It's important to question things. It's important to challenge assumptions and not take things on face value. So I created a system for myself where I'm trying to consciously adapt it into my behavior. Obviously, it's a behavioral change. It's not a one-day thing, where we will target MIS by activating DIS strategy. That is the antivirus for our MIS virus. First, doubt and disrupt. Question everything before accepting. For believing, sharing, or acting on any piece of information, to stop. Especially if the information is very crucial and can have an extreme reaction or impacts on the world, society, or probably just you. Ask yourself, does this sound too good to be true? Who will benefit if you believe that particular information? Or am I just being emotionally triggered by a different perspective or point of view? Or is it really worth spending my time or wasting my emotions over? Misinformation survives on instant belief, where you're believing something. So when you doubt it, you slow down that process. The second D is the disrupt. If you see similar content coming on your feed, consciously try to clean your algorithm, specifying it you don't like this kind of content, or try to forcefully watch something which is completely out of your comfort zone to confuse the algorithm, or at least have a variety of content on your feed. So that will help you open your thought process, be a little more open-minded, accept different perspectives and diversified opinions, as well as get you out of the echo chamber of same content. Investigate, verify before acting, or don't take AI or anyone else's words at face value. If an information is huge or impact on your views, opinions, or it distort your perceptions about something critical, then it's important to take a step back, question the resources, validate the information from multiple places, and see if what you are reading or consuming or believing is true or not. Third is S, switch to manual override. The more we are outsourcing our thinking to AI, the less we are thinking for ourselves. And we need to remember that AI is just a tool and not a replacement for our human thinking. We have a powerful machine over here, and it's important that we use this more than any other machine. AI's job is just to optimize. Its job is not to give you wisdom. That's your job. You need to think. So yeah, that's your DIS. That is our antivirus against the MIS virus. Install this and improve your critical thinking and decision-making skills. If you install all these 3 files, you won't just be a passive consumer, but an active decision maker. Using AI is not bad, but not using our brains is extremely bad. So make sure that as AI is getting smarter, you are not getting any dumber. So see you next week, because next week we are going to fix our learning bugs. Stay tuned.